Okay. Sometimes my hunches take a long time to find out, if I'm right or wrong. Now, what this is about is I have a friend that I've known since like I was 17 years old, I think it was. Um, anyway, months ago, this thing started happening, and it's amazing to find out in the end that I was right once again. And it wasn't that he was wrong, because he came to me about this situation, so he had doubts too. But I'm just saying he was more trusting than I was. Okay, so this is what happened. Long, long time ago, he was in the military, and you know how they go far away and they're gone for months at a time and stuff like that. He ended up having this little fling with this woman. Not a fling. He was not married. He wasn't with nobody. He was single. But you know what I'm saying. It wasn't a I'm in love with you kind of thing. It wasn't a relationship. It was a little, I call it a fling, is what I call it. A little romance. There you go. And they barely even knew each other. You see what I'm saying? Barely even knew each other. So she didn't even really know his last name, to be honest. And it didn't last very long. I mean, like a couple of days or whatever. So imagine years down the later, like 20-something years later, this person finds you on Facebook. Okay? Find you on Facebook. Excuse me, I'm going to be smoking in this one. I normally don't, but I will be in this one. Because I am hurting. I just got done putting a washing machine together, and it took us 4 hours, and my body is hurting. So anyway, imagine 20-something years later, this person finds you on Facebook and tells you that you could be the father of this daughter that's 20-something years old. Now, he has a daughter of his own, and he was, it was exciting for him, He thought, what if she really is mine? Well, anyway, then he finds out the woman that he was with is dying of cancer. And then, the woman also tells him that the daughter is like into military, like he was, that she trains people. I don't remember what kind of training it was, but she just talks, it's verbal kind of training stuff. And so that's awesome. You think about it. If that's like I'm into singing, and let's say I had sex with a woman, and that child grew up, and that child was into singing. Do you see what I'm saying? The similarity and all that. And then, on top of that, he starts talking to the daughter, and so they start to get close. But she also says she doesn't have a Facebook because her husband, the daughter, she's married, doesn't have a Facebook because the husband won't let her. I thought this was really strange. So he comes to me and he wants me to use my hunches to figure out if this is real. Is there a possibility that there's some kind of scam going on or something? And I do see clues. Yes. I mean, like the point that the woman was able to find him without knowing his last name. Things like that. That right there is really odd. And then she's dying of cancer. Yeah, maybe it's a possibility that she's dying of cancer. I never said she wasn't, but I'm just saying there was just so many things that really draw you in. It's almost like a lifetime story, something you see on TV. And I thought it was really odd that the daughter would not have a Facebook. On top of that, all this talking happened through Facebook. There would always be some kind of excuse or something where they couldn't talk on the phone. So anyway, all of a sudden, he's being offered a job to help with this training through the daughter, not the mother, because the mother doesn't do that. And he was thinking about doing it. But like I told him, if you're going to do this, you better have some kind of backup plan. He goes, yeah, I do. I have somebody who's actually going to be there at the airport because I know somebody who's nearby in the state that I'm going to be going. And so just in case something goes wrong, he had a plan. And I said, that's good because telling you the truth here, I really feel that this is not real. That I don't know what they're doing, because he goes like, well, what can they do? I've already told them I don't have money and stuff like that. They can't rob me. They can't, if they went and got fake credit cards with my name, my credit's bad. It ain't going to get them anywhere. But you know what? It doesn't matter because people can't get credit cards and stuff in shitty people's credit. I mean, I've heard about it on the news. So I'm thinking that there's something, something going on. Maybe they were going to kidnap him. But again, like he said, who would pay the money to get me back? No one's got any money. So anyway, this goes on for months. But like within the first 2 months or whatever, all of a sudden the girl gets in an accident, like a car accident, and all of a sudden he can't talk to her because the husband, you know, comes up with these reasons why, and the mother doesn't. She ends up going to the hospital and stuff like that, and so now he's not talking to nobody, and he's being blocked by, not blocked, but I mean the guy's not letting him talk to anybody. And I'm thinking that's odd too. You know what I mean? Because everything was going fine, everything, and you're getting ready to go do this job, and then all of a sudden, boom, a car accident happens. Well, my friend noticed some pictures because they put up some pictures and noticed something didn't look right and all that. And so he started seeing clues. That's why he needed my help and all that. He did a check, although I got to find out just recently, a few days ago, that he just did a basic check. He should have done the $50 check. It's worth it. If somebody's going to claim that they're, they had a daughter of yours, won't you do the $50 check? Because that's where you're going to really find out they're a felon. But also, my friend is in security. He used to be a security guard at a prison. He used to be a bounty hunter, and he used to be a security guard. So he'd never been a police officer, though. And so what ended up happening? He eventually finds the mother's Facebook, her real Facebook. He just wouldn't give up. He found it, and then he found the daughter's. So bingo, the daughter was not offline. She was online. She had her own Facebook, and I thought that they would, because it just didn't make any sense. Most people do have a Facebook. It was a lie about the accident that never existed, and he decided to talk to the daughter. And when he did, because he sent a message to her, not on her Facebook, through the inbox, and the girl said, "I'm sorry, but I never talked to you before. I've heard your name long, long time ago, but I did not know who you were. I never knew that you might be my father. And this conversation that you're showing me, that you're copying and pasting to me, that wasn't me. That was my mom." Now, the cancer part, that was true. She actually has gross pictures of her body cut open, and I mean, you could see her insides on her Facebook. So the cancer thing was true. So the girl and him decided that they were going to do a DNA test behind her back because she wanted it to happen anyway. She's the one who came to him in the first place. So he sent the test in the mail. The mother found out about it, and she threw a big fit, and there's been no more conversation since that. She wasn't into military training. That was all made up. I thought that was made up too. And so, I mean, he was telling me most of the things that you thought, Malcolm, was right. And I'm going like, it's just amazing. Well, anyway, then, what was it, like a month later, just a couple days ago, he wouldn't give up. And he finally found them online. In 2010, they were busted. The mother, the husband, not the daughter and her husband. No, they had nothing to do with it. So it was the mother, the husband, and a friend who was 22 years old. They all three were busted for drugs. $40,000 worth of drugs. I have been now saving, because I've been doing more checks, so I've got a directory here, and I put everything that I could find on these people in the directory. So the police raided them, found guns, long guns. It said long guns and short guns, $40,000 worth of drugs, $2,000 worth of meth or whatever. The other drugs, they didn't say what that was. $40,000 worth of drugs. I don't think it said what it was. Maybe it's just marijuana on that. Anyway, they found like a bunch of computers, 6 cars, a boat, all these different things. And through this raid and getting those computers, they found out that they've been actually doing fraud close to $1 million in fake tax filing. You know what I mean? Like fake houses and stuff like that. It mentioned about houses, and these people were filling out their taxes so they can get this money. But the money was going into the mother, the woman that he had sex with, that supposedly is the mother of the child, which is bullshit now. I mean, there is no way. I know that that was a part of the plan. But the point is that money was going in her account. She was the mastermind of this whole thing, the mother. And she never went to prison. And I believe, because she was supposed to be sentenced in November of 2010, I think it was at that time she got cancer. I think that they let it go, although the other ones, well, I believe they probably got probation is what they got. But she was looking up to 20 years in prison. 20 years in prison. I kept searching, going like, why is she free? You know, I don't see anything. I saw where she got sentenced. They pleaded guilty, and they did drop the tax fraud because all the papers were filled out. That's the weird thing about it. It doesn't make any sense. They're saying that they got up to that much money, but how did they get up to that much money when it wasn't actually sent in? Something really is botched here because it doesn't make sense. Up to $1 million, close up to $1 million, guys. And yet she didn't go to prison for it. Now, they pleaded, all three of them pleaded to the drug trafficking. The two guys was actually illegal immigrants. Down below, I'm going to give you a link to the story so you can see yourself. I was blown away. When he sent me that, I just go like, oh my God. Why didn't you do... Because he also told me he did a basic check. And I go, why didn't you do a regular check? You would have found that because that's a felony. Why, you know, you would have found it. But he didn't. He just did a basic. So, yeah, I believe there was something. He was a part of this plan. Not that, of course, because that happened before this. I'm saying they were going to do something. Who knows what? I have been trying to figure out what could their plan have been. What did they want from him? I mean, was it going to be some kind of like getting him into it, maybe? He thinks that that's his child, so he would be a part of their group and help them sell the drugs and stuff like that. It's just unbelievable, guys. You really don't know anybody, and you can't really trust somebody on the internet. They could tell you this really sad story, but I do believe that the reason why she didn't go to prison is because of the cancer. Because I noticed 2010, and then it was right there at the beginning of 2011 where she got the cancer and they showed all the surgery. And she just had surgery recently too. It looks like she's going to die. I mean, her body looks... They did remove those pictures. I don't know if Facebook did. Some pictures are still there from back from the beginning, but the recent ones they're gone. It made me almost want to throw up. I mean, like, why would you want to put pictures of your inside your body? And I mean, they were close, guys. Close pictures. Just, it made me feel nauseous. But I need to look at them because I need to try to figure out what was the plan here. So I don't believe the girl is his daughter at all. That was a part of the scam. He now believes the same thing. And hell, the girl didn't even know. And why would she throw a big fit when she was the one who wanted to tell him that this could be your daughter and let's find out, let's get a test. And then when he does the test, she gets mad. So if you got any ideas of what you think the plans might have been, let me know in the comments below. There's so many different kind of schemes out there, you know. Don't know. Alright, thank you for listening. I know the video is long, but I tell you what, this was just amazing. And it took me, close to a year to find out that my hunches was right all along. That this was a fake bullshit story. And, you know, and it broke his heart because he got his feelings out there that this girl might be his daughter, and it wasn't. Alright, you guys have a good one. Thank you for listening. I really appreciate it, and God bless.